Hi, I'm Dr. Jackson Crawford. I'm a specialist in the Old Norse language teaching at the University of Colorado Boulder, previously at UC Berkeley and UCLA. Like with the names of persons in Old Norse, the names of places tend to be compounds of two simple words. We see certain words that recur in different place names, and that's what I'm going to be reviewing in this video. I can't review every single possible word that would appear in a place name because often it's people's names that appear in a place name, so-and-so's place, so-and-so's home, or God's names, Njord's Bay, Odin's land, etc. I can't review every single one of those, but I can look at the common elements that occur in the second half of place names. So in terms of natural features, of course, there's words like land, which means land. There's hav, ocean, jökull, glacier. There's stein or grjót, both of which are stone. There's dalr, dale, valley, as well as volr, which is valley. The plural is velir. There is ness, peninsula. There is fjall or fell, which is mountain. And then in the names of people's settlements, often old farm names which can become town names, we see elements like vin, pasture, for instance in the name Björkvin, which becomes modern Norwegian Bergen, or heimr, home, for instance in Trondheimr, which becomes modern Norwegian Trondheim, another city in Norway. And those two elements are typically in the older level of settlement, sometimes pre-Viking Age. Viking Age settlement names often include land, so for instance Ularland, land of Ul, a little known god. There's setter, a residence, so for instance Espisetter, Aspen land, Aspen residence. This is seen in modern Norwegian Espiset. Stadir, which just means place, very common in Iceland and in places settled from Iceland like Greenland. So for instance Eiríksstaðir, Eric's place, Hrafnkelsstaðir, Hrafnkels place, Hallfreðarstaðir, Hallfreðar's place, very common in Iceland. There is also bur or bjur, that's its East Norse form. This is just farm. For instance, you'll find places in Norway that are just called bø. That's from Old Norse bur. This also shows up in numerous English place names as by, like Whitby, just white farm. That's from the Old East Norse form with the Y. There's also a fairly old layer, or a fairly new layer of place names. There's Rud, that's a clearing, like in modern Norwegian Buskerud, from Old Norse Biskupsrud, bishop's clearing. The older word for clearing in place names seems to be fate. So for instance in a place name like Meðalfeit, middle clearing, modern Norwegian Meldfet. But these places, of course, which are often just old farm names in Old Norse, do become often the names of towns, counties, whatever, in modern Norway, Iceland, the Faroes, Sweden, Denmark, even Eastern England, where there was a lot of Norse settlement. So often these things have taken on sort of a wider life than the name originally denoted. We see this, for instance, with names of places in Vik. Vik is a bay, so Reykjavik is originally not the name of a settlement there, it's the Bay of Smokes. Or Jorvik, which is a wild boar bay, of course that has become York, which lives on yet further as New York. So studying place names is not only an interesting look into what the Norse were naming, it's also kind of an interesting game you can play in terms of finding out what something means that you live in today, even in a place far from where the Vikings ever roamed or settled. Well, for now, I hope this has been somewhat interesting and useful for you, and from the waters at the edge of the world, I'm wishing you all the best.